All right, welcome back to Right on the Edge, and I'm going to react to
Have you ever found
what if we dump trash into volcanoes? This is the type of dumb question I like to ask. Is it an infinite trash can? I, I want to know. I'm going to subscribe to this guy, dude. This is some cool, terrible animation. I love it.
yourself thinking, why don't we just toss all our trash into volcanoes? I mean,
That's what
if
I
you've
was
ever
thinking.
played Minecraft, then you might already be familiar with the concept of dropping stuff you don't need into lava and never having to worry about it again.
Boom.
Sounds
Yep,
too good
done.
to be true, doesn't it? Well,
Yep.
you've probably already guessed it, but as so often, things are not as simple as they seem on the first glance.
Damn.
Here's the thing, we generate an insane amount of trash every year. Take the United States, for example. Americans throw away about 239 million tons of garbage annually. So, yeah,
Yeehaw,
finding a way to
baby.
get rid of all that would be
Wait,
pretty
what?
great, and tossing it into a volcano sounds like a solid solution,
Sure
right?
does.
It feels almost like a cheat code to solving the trash problem, but it's not as simple as it seems, not even close. The first issue we'd face is, well, actually finding a volcano that can handle all that garbage. There are only around 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth.
That's true. That's true. But what if we funneled it in? Like, hear me out. What if we funneled it in? And I forget what the second one was, but oh well. What if we funneled it in? Let's just go with that.
And many of them are tucked away in remote areas, far from where people actually live. So getting our trash to one of those volcanoes would be a logistical nightmare. But let's pretend we get that part sorted. We load up all our trash and head to the nearest
We're
volcano.
pretending, baby.
What's next? Well, not all volcanoes are created equal. You'd need a very specific kind to even think about this idea. What we're looking for is a shield volcano. These are the ones with those iconic lava lakes and slow, steady eruptions. The
Hell
problem
yeah.
is, shield volcanoes are relatively rare. But for the sake of this thought experiment, let's assume we somehow managed to find ourselves a nice docile shield volcano. You'd think the hardest part is over, right?
Yeah.
But nope. If you're one of the brave souls tasked with delivering the trash to the volcano, get ready for some serious danger. The environment around a volcano is no joke. Poisonous gases, flying rocks, and boiling hot lava. It's the kind of
Yeah,
place you
sounds like
don't want to be
problems.
hauling a truckload of trash. And when it's time to dump it in, let's just say things get a bit tricky. Back in
Alright.
2002, a group of researchers threw a small bag of trash into a volcano in Ethiopia. And what happened next was not exactly expected. Lava lakes, it turns out, are pretty unstable. When something cold like trash lands in them, it triggers a chain reaction. Pressurized steam builds up, and suddenly, you've got an eruption of acidic gases and molten rock.
Man, the volcano just got pissed off and sent it back. It's like, how dare you?
So, just imagine what might happen if we dumped an entire country's worth of waste. We could end up with a volcano literally spitting trash all over the place. And that's not even the worst of it. Even if we somehow avoid an eruption, we've still got to deal with the fact that not all trash breaks down in lava.
What? Damn.
Metals and other materials might just sit in the lava, only to be blasted out later on. Plus, let's not forget that burning trash releases a ton of harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. So instead of solving the trash problem, we might just make the pollution crisis a whole lot worse. And shipping all this trash to remote volcanoes? Yeah, that's going to generate a massive carbon footprint. The emissions from hauling trash across countries would pretty much defeat the purpose of trying to reduce
What if we just had a conveyor belt that went to one?
waste in the first place. So, while tossing trash into volcanoes might sound like a good way to get rid of it all, the reality is much messier. If we're really looking to get rid of waste, maybe we should stick with recycling or exploring better ways to convert
That would be nice if the trash companies hadn't completely, and corporation hadn't completely ruined that. All your recycling at the moment in almost every country goes straight into the dump. So all that extra work that you do is for nothing right now because not all plastics are recyclable. And at least us in America, we have a secondary problem is we don't recycle that plastic back into diesel. So congratulations, man. Like corporations ruin everything.
waste into usable energy. Or, we could always just shoot it all into space. If you're
Hell
interested in
yeah.
why that wouldn't be a good idea either, let me know in the comments. Anyways,
Okay. All right. Well, this is such a fast video. I have to know. What if we launch trash into the sun?
what if we launched our trash to the sun?
Gotta know.
We all know that humanity produces tons of waste
Just a
that
little
has
bit.
to be processed somehow. Plastic, electronic junk, radioactive material, things that, well, we don't really want to have on Earth. The sun, on the other hand, is a giant, searing hot
I think the plastic we can keep. Let's convert it into diesel. You know, I think we can do that.
Ball of plasma, already busy incinerating everything in its core at millions of degrees.
Yeah, sounds good.
Surely it wouldn't mind a little extra garbage, right? It seems like a perfect solution. Just load up a rocket, aim for the sun, and let gravity do the work.
I mean, it would be nice if it was that easy, but somehow I doubt it.
Unfortunately, that's not how orbits work. In fact, it is incredibly difficult to hit the sun with a rocket at all. Earth is moving at about 30 kilometers per second around the sun. If you want to throw something into the sun, you don't just point a rocket at it and fire. That's like trying to drop a bowling ball straight down while running sideways at a highway speed.
Hey, we got people to the moon, okay? I bet you we could get a rocket to the sun.
The ball isn't going to fall straight, it's going to keep moving forward. To actually reach the sun, you need to cancel out Earth's orbital velocity, which means slowing down by 30 kilometers per second. Only then can your garbage rocket fall straight into the sun, but 30 kilometers a second is a lot. For comparison, launching something into space requires a speed of about 8 kilometers per second. Leaving our solar system requires about 11. That means that it is much harder to crash into the sun than to just escape the solar system altogether. So, it isn't impossible, but it's expensive. Our best rocket,
But it would be cool, though. Can we just accept the fact it'd be cool?
the kind that launch interplanetary missions, can't even come close.
Yo, man, I think you're being a negative Nancy here, alright? Negative Nancy. I think we shot it just right at the right angles, right? You could cancel out that speed, I bet. And then the gravity would just be like, whoop, and suck it in.
The Parker Solar Probe, one of the fastest spacecraft ever built, needed multiple gravity assists from Venus just to get close to the sun, and even then, it's not actually falling in, it's just skimming the surface. So, as you can see, the real problem
I mean, that's pretty cool, though.
here has nothing to do with the garbage, but with the fact that we wouldn't reach the sun in the first place. But don't worry, our thought experiment only really begins here. Let's say
there
we
we go.
somehow solve that problem.
Hell yeah, dude. That's right. Be positive. Be positive.
Maybe we develop incredibly powerful rockets. Would dumping our waste into the sun then be a good idea? On the plus side, the sun is a fantastic incinerator. Plastic and toxic chemicals would literally just get vaporized. Radioactive waste would still be radioactive, but at least it's inside a star now, far
And be
away from anything it could harm.
vaporized.
However, the cost would be astronomical. Literally, every launch would require massive amounts of fuel, complex engineering, and billions of dollars. A single SpaceX Falcon 9
But hear me out. What if the whole world's doing it together so no one charges anyone to do it for anything?
launch costs tens of millions, and it can carry only about 20 tons to low Earth orbit. That's nowhere near enough capacity to handle the sheer amount of trash we produce. There are also safety concerns. Rockets fail sometimes. If we loaded a rocket full of nuclear waste and it exploded during launch, we'd have a much bigger problem than we started with. A better alternative might be to send our trash somewhere else, maybe the moon or an asteroid, or just
you
out into
imagine?
deep space. As unfortunate as it may be, it is not the solution to our waste problem. I just thought of something else. If the sun is too far away, wouldn't the most sun-like thing we have on Earth be a volcano? Why don't we just throw our garbage into that? Coincidentally, I've talked about this very thing
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you negatively said we can't do it because blah blah blah. Well, don't let Debbie Downer here hold us back, okay? If we Americans want to jump it into the sun, we're gonna dump it into the sun. No matter how impractical it may be. God bless America. And all that. No, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, no, this is interesting. Yeah, this kind of like expected. I figured it would just be harder than just aiming a rocket straight and be like boom and hitting the sun. I thought there'd be cosmic forces that would get in the way that I didn't properly understand. And those cosmic forces are the real Debbie Downer here, not you. By the way, loved it. Good videos. I hope that everyone has a good night. Like, subscribe, and comment if you like to see more of this stuff, you know, in general. All right. Good night.